morning from Frostland Survivor Man. I'm the Frost Man, and with me who braved the wilderness today is Joey. Scooby-Doo fired up, no problem?
You know, it was a little chilly, but warmed her up for 20 minutes and she was still cold.
A little chilly. You want to expound on that a bit?
We finally have Frostland temperature out here. We're in the middle of the cold snap the whole country's in. It was -12 when I pulled in here.
-12.
-12 with the wind chill. That's ice bowl temperatures.
I ran out to the truck today to grab my, I left some stuff in the truck that I needed for this morning. So I ran out to the truck and I realized immediately I did not have nearly enough clothes on to be out there.
Yeah, without a doubt, no exposed skin out there.
Not the coldest I've ever lived through, certainly, but it certainly is cold.
Yep. But hands down, I'll take cold over hot. So,
Joey, I am torn with today's video. I'm not sure I really want to unveil this.
Correct. This one might be redacted some. You might see a lot of black bars in the editing because we can't give away all the secrets to the magic.
Today, what are we going to make?
Butter tarts.
Butter tarts. Butter tarts are a Canadian thing. If you are visiting through Canada, you can go into any grocery store bakery. They will have butter tarts. Not only the bakeries, but they are such a part of Canadian culture that they're usually sold in the gas stations, the corner stores. Every place has butter tarts. Where they came from, I don't know. How they got to Canada and became a Canadian thing, I don't know.
I'm only imagining the gift from God.
Yeah, I would say I'm certainly glad that they did.
Right.
No matter what happened, I'm glad that butter tarts made it. And I was going to give some butter tarts to people to try, and one of my friends, he said, I shouldn't really be eating the sweets. Yeah, nobody should be eating butter tarts.
Exactly.
That doesn't make them any less delicious. So today, Joey and I are going to make Canadian butter tarts for you, and we're going to show you how it's done. We could have the camera just focused on the bowl and show you what we're doing. And what would be the fun in that? Part of what we enjoy about doing these things is the conversations we have while we're doing it.
Yep, the interactions while we're making the video.
So we're going to do a totally military thing. We're going to split the duties. Joey, being the baker, is going to do the pastry side, and I'm going to do the filling side. So we're going to get to butter tarts in just a minute.
The first part of making the butter tarts here, or any sort of pastries, you want to make up your crust. Part of the reason on that is you want to let the crust set in the fridge, set up a little bit before you roll it out and put it. That gives us time to make the filling, but it's just part of the process here. So since we're not going to give you every single step to make these, we kind of secretly hidden some of the steps. I pre-mixed the crust portion of things. This is really important. There's a couple things that are important to it. You want to get your butter, measure out the right amount of butter. Hey, with crust, you can't use enough butter. This is what makes it flaky and light. Get a cold butter. You don't even want it room temperature. You want it cold because what you're going to do is cut it into the butter and until it's pea-sized pieces so that it's going to make a nice little flaky crust. This is before we've added any of the liquid or the eggs to it. So you mix this up and it just takes a couple minutes. You can use your standard mixer, the house mixer, and then spend the rest of the afternoon while they're baking, cleaning flour off of the ups and everywhere. It always goes everywhere. Prefer to do it this way. If you don't have one of the pastry cutters, you can easily do this by hand by just mixing it in, breaking up the little pieces. This is the reason why you want to keep it cold. The butter's still cold in there. When it chills in here after we mix this all together, it'll, as it bakes, make it this nice, like flaky layers there.
One of my darling Honey Wabbit's Latina friends makes her own homemade tortillas, and that's how she does it. She crumbles the flour or the lard in there with her hand.
Now this whole process is super easy. I mean, would it take us 2 minutes to get this in here from when we started?
What's that gizmo you're using?
This is a pastry cutter.
Cool.
Yep, can be used for a lot of things. Makes great mashed potatoes.
Ooh,
you can do any number of things with this. Like I said, they're about $6 at the store. Everyone always looks at them, what's it for? It's for making this nice pastry
And that's how you want it, nice and crumbly like that, so it
got
kind of looks
little-
like breakfast cereal.
Little pockets of butter there.
Very nice.
And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add in a little bit of the liquid. Mix this together. I'm a big fan of using my fingers.
I can see that, but that's okay. So am I.
So we're just gonna mix this in there. You don't wanna over mix it, but it's just kinda getting it in there to where it's all incorporated. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this in plastic wrap, put it in the freezer, chill it. You can do it anywhere from like, I don't know, half an hour or an hour to, you can keep it in there for days till you're ready to make them up fresh if you wanna do it that way.
We could probably put it outside today.
You know, it wouldn't take long outside.
Okay.
Everyone has their own little things, whether you like cinnamon, vanilla, vodka, whatever it is that you put in there to make it your own. Cheese, maybe. I do like cheese. But you customize your dough yourself. Try a bunch of varieties and get something that works for you. There's 1,000 basic recipes. It's like 4 ingredients. But look around, see what you like, make it your own. Well, we've got the dough kneaded together into a nice little ball here. Nice and flaky going there. We're gonna just put it in a bowl, cover it in saran wrap and put it in the fridge or outside to deep freeze it here for half an hour, 45 minutes while we make up the inner pie or the filling.
Now we're gonna make the filling, the most important part of butter tarts. We're gonna start with our butter, which is the most important ingredient, softened, and brown sugar. And we're gonna cream those together with my little mixer. The next item we put in are
Your child's or Swedish chef accent while you make the butter tarts actually helps.
Not in any functional way with the flavor of the butter tarts, but it's a lot more fun.
Yep. And since they're Canadian butter tarts, you have to make sure while you're making it, you use Canadian terms. You say, I'm sorry a lot. If you run into someone in the kitchen, you apologize immediately.
So my 2 eggs, I'm gonna blend those in. Nice smooth look to it. Now, my cousin Jason's grandmother, she wasn't mine, she was his grandmother because my dad and his dad were brothers. So Mumu Nicola made butter tarts, and all the ladies made butter tarts. Every Canadian lady, Nana, Mom, my cousin Abe, his grandmother made them. Everybody made them. Everybody made butter tarts. And they all made them a little bit differently. But Mumu's butter tarts were different, and nobody could figure out why. Well, the reason was Mumu used corn syrup in hers, and that was a big difference. Now, if you're going to use corn syrup, you are going to probably use American corn syrup, but this stuff right here, this Beehive, this is purely Canadian. You have to buy this in Canada, so we're going to put this in there. However, there is another way you can make them, and that's with maple syrup, and this is mine and Joey's maple syrup from last year that we made, and we're going to show you this year how we make maple syrup. But you can swap the maple syrup for the corn syrup, or you can do this little maneuver. You can do half and half. So I'm going to need a cup of corn syrup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in half a cup of corn syrup and half a cup of my maple syrup. I have Canadian friends who live within the region, and they ask me if I'm going to Canada to bring them back stuff. And one of the things that's a common thing that I bring back, am requested to bring back, is this very Beehive corn syrup. Nobody asks for maple syrup, but they all ask for Beehive corn syrup. And it's also very good on ice cream, which, yes, Tino, nobody should eat. That doesn't make it less enjoyable. Run off a bit. And then mine and Joey's maple syrup from last year. And we're gonna do half a cup of that. So the butter tarts will taste a little more mapley.
Like a good Canadian butter tart should.
Right? And now our last ingredient is a little bit of vanilla. I don't like a lot of vanilla in there mainly because I don't want to kill the maple flavor. So I add about half, which is 1 teaspoon. So that's how much I put in. And that's all you're gonna get. Here is our tart filling. Looks pretty good. Now the problem with it is that while we're rolling out the dough and getting it in the muffin tins, it's gonna separate. And That's okay, because we're just going to remix it before we put it in the tarts. So there's a couple of things that I do that are different than most people. One of the things is I'm going to put this in the fridge. I'm going to keep it chilled because it will separate less quickly if it's chilled. The second thing is I kind of like my butter tarts without anything hindering the butter tardiness. And you do too, right, Joey?
I like the butter tarty.
So you will find recipes online that suggest you put in walnuts or you put in raisins.
No.
Absolutely not. Do not do that, because you're getting rid. If you're absolutely addicted to raisins, hey, they're your butter tarts. Do what you want, but you're going to take away space that has tardiness in it, that has that butter tart flavor,
Right.
which we don't want to do.
Raisins are not butter.
Okay, there it is.
All right.
All right, we got to get our muffin tins ready and get ready to bake them.
The pie crust, we made the filling. We've let the crust rest for a little bit and chill up. Now we're gonna roll it out, cut it to form, put it in the pans, and put the filling in and bake. So you want to have a little bit of flour down. You don't want it sticking on the table here.
In here of the bowl, you can see how that has started already to separate.
Correct.
Okay, so we want that separation to be gone. We'll scrape that down. There it is. And we are all ready to fill the tarts.
Okay, go.
I don't know where my darling honey wabbit got this little rubber funnel, but it is perfect for filling tarts. Have it almost full, like maybe to be a 1/4 inch from the top, because I don't want them to boil over or cook over the top of the tart shell.
Gotcha. Now
while they're in the oven.
in our crust, we didn't use any leavening agent other than an egg. So it's not gonna expand. It's not a yeast dough or anything. All right, I'm gonna put this on stop here. There you go.
There they are, ready to go. And we'll just put them in the oven, top rack.
Preheated, of course.
Preheated 423 degrees. It's been 14 minutes, Joey. Here we go. There they are. Our first ever batch of butter tarts. Frostman and Joey. And the baker's dozen to complete them.
Got to make sure that they're good.
There they are, right there. And we'll let those cool, and then we'll remove them from the muffin trays. So what do you think, Joey?
One of the beauty parts about homemade bakery or homemade anything is each one of them has its own character to it. Some of these will be a little crunchier, but you want them checked before they cool too much to make sure that the dough is completely done. You want to kind of lift it up, check the bottom, and make sure. I would say we want to maybe even go another minute or two, at least on these ones in the middle.
Well, you're the baker.
I would think that
You're the baker and the bakery expert, but I'm the butter tart expert, and I'm going to say no.
if you're
they're
sure
perfect.
on it, okay. A lot of people don't know this about butter tarts, but butter melts. We just had it in an oven. We need to set up a little bit before we take it on the cooling tray. You don't want to leave it too long because it'll continue to bake in the tray, but you can see how it's still liquidy there.
Show that again. Yep. You can see the ripple effect.
Yep. But not too long to where it'll stick to the pan, because otherwise this will be a doozy to clean up.
It took a little longer, but we have reached the pinnacle of our quest.
Butter tart.
And Joey was correct. It needed to go back in. So let me get the camera there, and you can watch this delicious ooziness come out of there. Oh. Absolutely delicious. Take a taste test, Joe. some of that delicious crust with some of that delicious ooze.
That is delicious.
Uh-huh. And as Tino said, nobody should eat butter tarts. But are you really going to refuse that? Good thing my arm is so long.
Right, exactly.
There are our butter tarts.
We're sitting here with the hard work of our efforts here, and this is delicious. I think we ought to take a second here to thank our moms and dads for showing us these treats and giving us all these wonderful things as children. We didn't appreciate it at the time, but
Absolutely, yes.
boy, now as we grow older, we remember this.
Come closer here so we're both in the shot.
I want the butter tarts to be the
They're in. So we got them.
But without that kind of love, if they would have just bought us store-bought and crap for our whole life, we would never enjoy this the wonder that is some of these things. So
thank you, Mom, for all the years of lunches and all the stuff that I didn't appreciate. It was, within everybody's culture, everybody had that in their lunch.
Yeah.
My dad talks about how the Dutch kids had the sugar sprinkles in their sandwich.
Yep.
And it depended on, if your mother was at home or not, whether you got homemade bread. We got homemade bread all the time.
And boy, it makes a difference. So thank you.
Thank you to everyone. Used to eating this stuff, and I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful for that part of my heritage.
Yep, and we encourage you all to get out here and make some of the things from your childhood and things that you enjoy doing. They do taste a little better when you make it yourself.
Yep, they taste a little better when you make it yourself. And
you know what ingredients are in there. You can monitor it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a few. We blocked them, but people asking if we can put raisins in the butter tarts. They've heard that that's a traditional thing. Those people that want raisins have no part in Frostland Survivor.
No.
Raisins.
If you put raisins in, it takes away from the tart.
What are we making, a Waldorf salad, or are we making butter tarts?
If we're making Waldorf salad, it gets raisins. Butter tarts do not happen. And also, thank you to Nana and Mumu. They're with the Lord now. But Mumu is the Finnish term for Nana. So Finlanders refer to their grandmother as Mumu. So Mumu Nicola, her first name was really Elsie. And Papa Nicola's first name was Leo. And they were a wonderful pair. Absolutely a wonderful pair. They were a big part of my childhood growing up. Nana watched us when Mom and Dad were both working. Nana watched us. And there was always good treats at Nana's house.
Yep, always.
And it affected me forever. They were part of what made me what I am today. And the same with you, the people that were...
Right, that we grew up with, and the memories that we have from growing up, and the treats that we associate with that.
Well, and you can see it with Joey. When you talk to his mother, you can see Joey-isms in all the things that, you can hear Joey and the things she says.
Yeah, I definitely picked it up from somewhere.
Yep. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it so much. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Canadian butter tarts. There they are. They're not going to get more Canadian than that.
Nope.